Oh, look, it's the Sussexes, once again turning charity into a red carpet commercial. Meghan didn't just walk into the Project Healthy Minds Gala. She glided in like an unpaid influencer at her last brand deal. Every camera angle screamed, "Please, someone make this look natural." Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because the Royal Circus just rolled back into town, and this time it's parked right on a red carpet in New York City. Project Healthy Minds called it a gala. But what we saw, it was a high-gloss PR battlefield, a photo op masquerading as humanitarian grace. There she was, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Drama, clutching Prince Harry's arm like it was a rented prop. They weren't just walking a carpet. They were staging a performance. Every flicker of the flashbulb was an act, every micro-expression a script rehearsal. And yet, something was off. You could see it before she even spoke. That jawline working overtime like a stressed-out intern during tax season. Meghan's trademark serene smile had vanished, replaced by a look that screamed, "Who approved this lighting?" The internet noticed. Cameras noticed. Even Harry noticed, and that's saying something. In that moment, the mask slipped. This wasn't a fairy tale couple. This was a partnership in crisis, desperately pretending to still sparkle, and it was all caught. On camera, it's not a secret anymore. Meghan Markle has made the art of attention a full-time profession. She doesn't just crave the spotlight. She rents it, polishes it, and occasionally files for ownership rights. At the Project Healthy Minds Gala, she wasn't there to support mental health. She was there to revive her own PR health. The cameras were her therapy. The applause was her medication. Everything, from the outfit to the hand-holding choreography, screamed, "Look at us. Please look at us." They walked the red carpet like it was their personal redemption arc. Yet the vibe was more awkward, exes pretending to be fine for the family reunion. Let's be honest, if attention were a currency, Meghan would be a billionaire. She didn't need the Humanitarian of the Year award. She needed a Validation of the Year award. And poor Harry. He looked like a man who got dragged into a group project he didn't sign up for. While Meghan's face screamed, "Smile for the brand deal," Harry's eyes whispered, "Is it too late to rejoin the military?" Every photo looked like a royal hostage situation. One smile away from a headline, and one blink away from a breakdown. The gala lighting caught everything. The tight jaw, the frozen smile, the awkward hand squeeze that said, "Don't embarrass me tonight." And oh, did the internet deliver. Within hours, screenshots were dissected frame by frame. Her expression, a meme factory. Her composure, a PR nightmare. Even the body language experts came crawling out like it was a national emergency. Notice how her posture leans forward while Harry's shifts away. Yes, Karen, we noticed. So did 10 million viewers. It wasn't the humanitarian awards. It was the Oscars for controlled meltdowns. You know that moment when someone gives themselves a trophy for something they don't actually do. Yeah, that's this You Humanitarians of the Year. Presented to a couple best known for ghosting their own families and trademarking compassion. The irony? It was hosted by Project Healthy Minds, a group genuinely committed to mental health advocacy. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry arrived like the emotional chaos ambassadors of the decade. She smiled like a campaign poster. He stood like a cardboard cutout. If this was healing, then I'm the Queen of England. The speeches were word salads sprinkled with buzzwords. Wellness, resilience, healing, lived experience, translation. Please forget the Netflix docuseries, the Oprah interview, the Spotify flop, and our fading relevance. Their every move screamed calculated rebranding. You could almost hear their publicist whispering, "Okay, guys, this is the redemption tour. No scandals, no sass, and definitely no mic drops." But Meghan couldn't help herself. Her expressions were so exaggerated it was like she was auditioning for a reality show called Keeping Up with the PR Disasters. When the cameras turned, she turned faster. When the flashes went off, she leaned in harder. Harry, though, looked like he was buffering, eyes glazed, half smile locked in place. The human embodiment of a frozen Zoom screen. This wasn't royal glamour. This was professional exhaustion wrapped in designer clothes, and while the press releases screamed, "Royal couple returns to inspire the world," the crowd saw something else. A couple whose energy was off. No warmth, no synergy, just silence stitched with tension. Even fans admitted. It felt off-script, like they forgot their lines halfway through. One viral comment said it best. They look like two co-workers forced to attend the same conference after a bad breakup. Humanitarians? Maybe authentic? Absolutely not. Then came that moment, the one that blew up Twitter, TikTok, and every meme page from London to Los Angeles. The camera zoomed in, and there it was, Meghan Markle's jaw tightening like a malfunctioning robot. Every viewer collectively gasped. You could almost hear her teeth grinding through the tension. She was smiling, but not with her eyes, not even close. That jaw was doing overtime. A clear signal of suppressed rage, fake composure, or both. Body language experts called it micro-stress behavior. The rest of us just called it Monday face. Her expression went from "I love being" here to "I'm 2 seconds from teleporting" out of this room. It wasn't just visible, it was cinematic. The clip looped endlessly online with captions like, "When you realize your PR stunt backfired." But what makes this moment so fascinating? Because it wasn't just a slip, it was a reveal. The Meghan behind the curated image, the Duchess beneath the filters, the one who doesn't smile when the camera catches her off guard. And let's be honest, we've all had that split second when our true thoughts flash across our face. The difference? Ours don't go viral in 4K with the caption, "Meghan's mask slips again." Twitter had a field day. One user wrote, "That jawline could crack diamonds." Another replied, "Is she mad at Harry or just mad that the attention isn't centered?" Whatever it was unforgettable. Because for once the performance wasn't perfect. The curtain lifted, the mask cracked, and what peeked through wasn't grace. It was grit, frustration, and just a touch of, "Why am I still doing this?" If this event had an editor, they deserve a raise, because this red carpet unintentionally turned into a comedy show. The footage looked like it was spliced together by someone who's seen too many mockumentaries. Quick zooms, awkward cuts, forced smiles. Every transition felt like a punchline. When Meghan tried to link arms with Harry, he blinked too slowly. When she turned to smile at the cameras, he looked away. Cue the awkward background music. And boom, you've got the royal version of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Even the timing of her speech clips felt painfully edited, like someone in post-production was thinking, "Let's just cut before she says something controversial." And that's exactly what makes it so funny. The gala looked serious, but the footage played out like satire. The unintentional comedy highlight, that half-second pause before she answers the journalist's question, it's the kind of silence that screams, "Give me a second to find the right buzzword." And when she finally speaks, it's all filler words wrapped in enthusiasm. You know, it's about compassion, community, and healing. You could practically hear the cue cards flipping. This wasn't a red carpet. It was a blooper reel, waiting to trend. And then came the question that broke the internet. How does it feel to be here today? A simple question. Easy. Softball. Anyone else would have just said, "It's an honor." But Meghan? Oh, she went full TED Talk mode. Out came the buzzwords, stitched together like a corporate diversity memo. Empathy, resilience, shared experiences, emotional awareness. Translation. I practiced this line in front of the mirror 6 times, and I'm still not sure it makes sense. The words floated out beautifully, but they didn't land. because every sentence sounded less like sincerity and more like strategy. And the audience? Unmoved, polite smiles, a few claps, a lot of side eyes. Even Harry's face said it all. That thousand-yard stare of a man thinking, she's doing it again. To make matters worse, her tone wobbled between inspirational podcast and corporate training video. The crowd was listening, but not connecting, because authenticity can't be rehearsed, and this speech was pure performance. It was Meghan Markle's greatest weakness and greatest strength rolled into one: the ability to talk endlessly while saying nothing of consequence. She wasn't speaking to the room. She was speaking to the headlines. And when she finally stepped back from the mic, you could almost sense the relief from everyone, even the cameraman. But the internet wasn't so forgiving. Within minutes, clips flooded social media with captions like, AI Meghan delivers another empathy, juexy speech. When you Google how to sound humanitarian, and the brutal, even her sincerity has a PR manager, that was the moment people realized. She's not just addicted to attention, she's addicted to her own narrative. But the problem is, we've all stopped buying it. Let's talk about Prince Harry, shall we? At this point, the man has two expressions: mildly confused and emotionally unplugged. You could watch the footage frame by frame and see it. He's there physically, but mentally, somewhere in Montecito, questioning every life choice since 2020. While Meghan's face was doing the full Broadway performance, clenching, posing, beaming. Harry looked like he'd been turned to stone halfway through a therapy session. You know that look you give when your friend drags you to a yoga retreat, and halfway through you realize there's no Wi-Fi? That's the Harry face. Blank, numb, utterly detached. Observers even joked online that Harry might have been auditioning for a wax museum cameo. He stood still, blinked once every 30 seconds, and smiled exactly when the flashes went off, like someone installed a smile sensor in his suit jacket. But here's the subtle tragedy. This isn't new. The further they go into the PR circuit, the emptier he looks. That spark, the mischievous, cheeky soldier who once joked his way through interviews, gone, replaced by a silent shadow, living in the reflection of his wife's ambition. At one point, Meghan turned toward him for what looked like an affectionate glance, and Harry didn't even notice. It wasn't rejection, it was disconnection, like two people scrolling different social media apps during dinner. His body language screamed avoidance, arms stiff, jaw tight, eyes darting. You don't need to be an expert to read it. It was the posture of a man who'd rather be anywhere else but there. Every time she leaned in, he leaned away. Every time she smiled wider, he froze harder. It was visual poetry, an emotional tug-of-war on live television, and the audience saw it. One commentator joked, Harry looked like a husband dragged to IKEA on a Saturday. Another added, he blinked, save me in Morse code. Cold? Maybe. But honest? Absolutely. Because while Meghan plays the camera like a Stradivarius, Harry's done pretending. He's just surviving the show. Now, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, this red carpet was an entire divorce soundtrack. From the first step to the final pose, everything about their body language whispered, no, screamed, emotional distance. Watch it closely. Meghan leads, Harry follows. Meghan waves, Harry hesitates. Meghan laughs, Harry stares. If there's chemistry left, it's trapped under 10 layers of PR fabric. Experts online went wild breaking it down. Notice the lack of synchronized motion. One analyst said, their energy fields aren't aligned. No kidding. They weren't even in the same emotional time zone. And that micro moment when Meghan adjusted her hair while Harry looked away. Oh, the symbolism. It's like the royal version of don't touch me. Energy. They used to be a team. Now, it's like watching two influencers share one Instagram account, but argue over who gets to post. The disconnect is visible, audible, palpable. Harry's body kept facing the cameras. Meghan's kept seeking his attention. She wanted connection, but what she got was compliance. Their smiles didn't match, their steps didn't sync, and every single flash from the photographers captured that growing void. Perfectly framed, perfectly tragic. At one point, Meghan looked at him with a half grin that said, "Smile now, we practiced this." He blinked twice, shifted weight, gave the bare minimum grin, and instantly turned back to the floor. The audience didn't need subtitles. The tension was its own language. Couples who are genuinely happy radiate warmth. These two radiated Wi-Fi interference. It's not hate. It's exhaustion. The kind that comes from pretending too long that everything's fine. Because here's the truth. When you spend years turning your personal life into a public brand, eventually the authenticity dries up. All that's left is choreography. The kind we saw in every stiff pose, every awkward step, every forced smile. It wasn't just awkward, it was heartbreak hiding in high definition. Then came the strangest twist of the night. Meghan, the woman who built an empire out of speaking, suddenly stepped back from the mic. Like, literally. She withdrew. No interjections. No impromptu monologue. No My Truth segment. Just silence. And you could feel the collective gasp from every PR manager in the building. For someone who once trademarked the word archetypes. Silence is suspicious. It's like watching Gordon Ramsay refuse to critique food. It just doesn't happen. So, of course, the theories exploded. Did she get benched? Was the mic quietly redirected to Harry to avoid another empathy overload speech? Did the event organizers simply say, "Let's keep it short this year"? No one knows. But that absence was louder than any speech she's ever given. People, online jokes she might have been temporarily muted by karma. Others said the look she gave Harry, that subtle side-eye when he fumbled his own line, was worth 1,000 royal protocols. Whatever the case, that short silence told a longer story. Because Meghan's power has always come from controlling the narrative. From Oprah to Spotify, she's the architect of her own mythology, a storyteller with perfect lighting. But that night, she had no control. The lighting was raw, the cameras unfiltered, and her silence became the headline. It was the first time in years we saw her without a script. And it showed. Her expression shifted from poised to restless. Her smile trembled. Her eyes darted toward the cameras, then away, like someone wondering, are they still filming? The silence didn't protect her image, but it exposed it. Because in that pause, the audience finally saw Meghan off-brand. And it was mesmerizing. Let's face it, at this point, every Meghan and Harry appearance feels less like activism and more like an episode of Keeping Up with the Optics. The Project Healthy Minds Gala was supposed to be about compassion and healing. Instead, it felt like the soft launch of Meghan Markle's next reinvention campaign. Empathy, but make it exclusive. The speech segments, the carefully staged hand-holding, the so humbled but glowing aesthetic. It's all part of the same cycle. A rebrand, repackaged and resold to an audience that's already seen this movie 5 times. You can spot the pattern. Step 1. Announce involvement with a meaningful cause. Step 2. Arrive in designer couture that costs more than the charity's yearly budget. Step 3. Deliver a speech with all the emotional range of a self-help audiobook. Step 4. Smile. Post. Vanish until the next. Photo op the Meghan Markle Empathy Tour is a masterclass in image control, except the audience isn't buying the tickets anymore. People don't connect with buzzwords. They connect with believability, and Meghan's problem isn't the message. It's the delivery. Because every line she says sounds like it was edited by a corporate consultant. Even her pauses feel choreographed. It's not, "I feel this." It's, "I've been briefed to look like I feel this." And when authenticity becomes performance, it stops moving hearts. It just moves algorithms. At this gala, it was painfully obvious. Meghan was glowing, polished, rehearsed, yet hollow, like a diamond made of glass, dazzling until you look too close.